Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 19th of November 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that first of all you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low, but the most important thing that we are covering that current affair which comes in every type of exam. This is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is the best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer and the pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs very quickly before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are also providing 20 most important topic-wise PDF. It means if you want to cover 1, 2 or 3 particular topics, then you can use this topic-wise PDF. If you're a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And remember, you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. We are also providing state current affairs, and the most important thing that we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But the most important thing, if you're a new student, you're just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And on both subscriptions, we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. If you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start today's current affair. That is 19th of November 2021. But first of all, you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. And here is the first question in the most important section is, who wrote a debut novel known as Lal Salam in novel? So you have to just remember the name, or the keyword here is Lal Salam. This is the name of the book, and this is written by very famous personality Samriti Irani. So you have to remember answer of this question is B. Samriti Zubin Irani, or you can say Samriti Irani, the Union Minister of Women and Child Development, and she is set to release her first novel named as Lal Salam. And you can also see here the cover page of Lal Salam. This is not very much clear, but you have to remember this is the cover page. So you can recall this again and again. And this novel is inspired by the killing of 76 Central Reserve Police Force or CRPF personnel during the Maoist attack in Dantewada in Chhattisgarh in April 2010. And this book is a tribute to people who have given their lifetime service to the nation. And Lal Salam is a novel, features a story of young officer Vikram Pratap Singh. Vikram Pratap Singh. You can also see here the cover page. This is Vikram Pratap Singh. And the challenges faced by the law enforcers while the system is steeped in the backroom politics and the corruption. And the book humanizes the daily conflicts and ethical dilemmas which are intrinsic to modern life. So you have to just remember this book is written by a Union Minister of Women and Child Development, that is Smriti Irani ji. And previously she has also served as the Union Minister of Human Resource Development, or you can say HRD Ministry, now known as the Ministry of Education, from 2014 to 2016. She was also the Minister for Information and Broadcasting from 2017 to 18, Information and Broadcasting, and also the Union Minister of Textile from 2016 to 2021. And she was also the first woman to hold you can say office as a Union Minister for Human Resource Development, first woman, and also the first woman who hold a union ministry of textile. So again, this is very, very important. And even World Economic Forum has named her as the young global leader from India in 2015. So remember about Smriti Irani, and name of her first book is Lal Salam, and this book basically portrays a story of young officer Vikram Pratap Singh. Moving to next question. Which country became the world largest recipient of remittances by receiving in 2021 according to report by the World Bank? So first of all, you have to recall the name of the report. Second, you have to remember the name of the country who received maximum remittance in 2021. And answer of this question, one and lovable country is India. So India became the world largest recipient of remittance by receiving almost USD 87 billion in 2021, and India is followed by China. You can see here, this is the second rank, China. Third rank goes to Mexico, and fourth rank goes to Philippines, and even fifth one goes to Egypt. But you don't have to remember third, fourth, and fifth. Just remember India is on the top, and second position goes to China. And you can also see here the name of the report is World Bank's Remittance Prices Worldwide Database. This is the name of the report. Just remember remittance prices. So this is the name of the report. And United States was its biggest source. What is the source of India's largest remittance? United States was its biggest resource, accounting for 20% of these funds. It means total funds India received. Out of this, 20% funds received from United States of America. And in India, remittances are projected to grow by 3% in 2022. It means it will become almost 89.6 billion, or you can say $90 billion. So remember about World Bank. World Bank was created in 1944 under the Bretton Woods Conference. Bretton Woods is a place in United States of America along with International Monetary Fund. It means two organizations created simultaneously. One is International Monetary Fund, second is World Bank, and old name of World Bank was International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. And headquarters in Washington DC. Both organizations headquartered in Washington DC, but World Bank member countries are 189 and IMF member countries are 190. And who is the president of World Bank? World Bank president is David Malpass. He's 13th president of World Bank, and headquarter I already told you. Moving to next section, it is a very important question section. You have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Which state has launched India's first of its kind WhatsApp chatbot for state citizens to apply for ration card and other services? So we already discussed in the last video. This is basically started by West Bengal. So answer of this question is C. So the Food and Supplies Department of the government of West Bengal has launched India's first of its kind WhatsApp chatbot dedicated to facilitate the citizens of West Bengal to apply for a ration card and even lodge grievances and get access to other critical resources which are provided through this chatbot. And this is started by West Bengal. So you can see here West Bengal government launched WhatsApp chatbot. And the main aim is to support more than 10 crore beneficiaries of ration cards in the West Bengal. Or you can say the free chatbot is available in English and Bengali, so that this chatbot can help all the citizens of the West Bengal. And this will also help the farmers and especially related to the paddy procurement, and especially for the public distribution system, to implement the public distribution system. So you have to remember the chief minister is Mamata Banerjee, and the governor is Jagdeep Dhankar. And you can also remember very important tiger reserve here is Buxa Tiger Reserve, Sundarban Tiger Reserve, also by one of the biosphere reserve all over India. Total 18 biosphere reserve are in India, and one is Sundarban Biosphere Reserve. Buxa Tiger Reserve is also there. Jaldapada National Park is also in West Bengal. So remember this. Even Singalila National Park is also there. Singalila National Park in West Bengal. So remember all these. These are very, very important. Next is, what is the name of National Workshop on Digital India Land Record Modernization Program? So the keyword here is Digital India's Land Record Modernization Program. So what is the main motive of this program? Just to digitize the land records all over India. So by the name you can guess. And the name of this national workshop is Bhumi Samvad. So answer of this question is D. So Giriraj Singh, remember, Giriraj Singh the Union Minister of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj inaugurated or started this Bhumi Samvad, which is a national workshop on the Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. You can also see here the picture of Giriraj Singh, who launched this program. And you can also see here, it is a day-long workshop that analyzed best practices undertaken by different states and the union territories under this Digital India Land Record Modernization Program. And during this occasion, he also launched, it means Giriraj Singh ji launched, one is ULPIN. You have to remember, this is very important. Unique Land Parcel Identification Number. Unique Land Parcel Identification Number. It is regarded as Aadhaar number for land, and provides a unique identification number to the plots or the land based on their geographical coordinator. It means ULPIN will be used to computerize all the land records across India in digital format, which will automatically resolve land disputes. So this is a unique number against your land. So it is to recognize your land. So very important. And next is National Generic Document Registration System, which is known as NGDRS portal and dashboard. This is also launched by Giriraj Singh ji. So this is a software basically developed by NIC or National Informatics Center that digitize the land record document verification process. It means registration of documents using this NGDRS portal will reduce the number of visits made by the applicant to the respective government department, also provide transparency to the system. So this is just for your documentation. So two things are very important. One is this Bhumi Samvad program. Second is unique land parcel identification number. These two things can be asked. And India targets for complete all the digitization of all land records by the March 2023. It means for the financial year of 22-23. So just remember. And Ministry of Rural Development comes under the Giriraj Singh. The constituency is Begusarai. Begusarai, and Begusarai is in Bihar. So moving to next question. Which company launched its vehicle leasing and subscription business, which is known as Quick Lease? So the main keyword you have to remember is Quick Lease. This is the keyword for you. And this is started by Mahindra Finance. So answer of this question is B, Mahindra Finance. So Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services, which is also known as Mahindra Finance, which is a non-banking financial company, launched its vehicle leasing and subscription business, which is known as Quick Lease, with which the customers can access a brand new car without all hassles of car ownership. And you can see here, Quick Lease will take care all the registration process, insurance, scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, roadside assistance, and among others. So it is a first of its kind digital process on vehicle usership aimed at catering of both the retail customers or the consumers and the corporates. So Quick Lease will make partnership with original equipment manufacturers for vehicle leasing and subscription. So under Quick Lease, the company will offer multi-brand for vehicle leasing and subscription. So it is a digital platform which aims to provide convenience, flexibility, and choice to customer across cities. So this application or this platform will take care of registration, insurance, scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, and all other things, and it will provide all the services to the brand new car owners without all the hassles of the car ownership. So remember this is started by Mahindra Finance. Don't remember anything about Mahindra Finance, it is not important for you. Just remember the question or remember the keyword here. Quick Lease is started by Mahindra Finance. Moving to next question. SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, collaborated with whom for providing financial assistance to the MSMEs? Small Industries Development Bank of India collaborated with Google. Answer of this question is C, to provide financial assistance to the micro, small and medium enterprises. And the collaboration brings a corpus of $15 million or almost about 110 crore rupees to MSMEs as a crisis response related to COVID-19 for the, you can say, revitalization. So you can see here SIDBI and Google tie up for the loan program targeted at micro enterprises, and under this partnership, MSMEs having turnover of rupees up to 5 crore will get a loan ranging from 25 lakh to 1 crore, which is being implemented by SIDBI. It means loan will be provided by SIDBI and mentorship will be provided by Google. And the major focus will be on women entrepreneurship, so that we can provide you can say business opportunity to the women, and we can provide equality to the women entrepreneurs with suitable interest rate concession. And you can also remember that it is just a social impact program of the Google, which is a lending program with financial assistance up to 1 crore rupees, because maximum to maximum 1 crore loan can be assessed at subsidized interest rate to the MSMEs, and minimum to minimum 25 lakh, maximum to maximum 1 lakh. And the MSMEs which having turnover of less than 5 crore or up to 5 lakh, 5 crore, then they can get the loan from the SIDBI. So very important, just remember SIDBI collaborated with the Google. And Google, you all know, I think Sundar Pichai is currently the CEO. It was established in 1998 and headquarters in California, United States of America. And SIDBI is very important organization for you. It was established in 1990 and its headquarters is in Lucknow. Very important question. Headquarters is in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And its chairman and managing director is Siva Subramaniam Raman. S. Ramanan. You can just remember S. Ramanan. Moving to next question. UNESCO celebrated its dash anniversary on 12th of November 2021. 12th of November 2021. And this was the 75th anniversary of the UNESCO. So answer of this question is A. And it is a special ceremony organized at UNESCO headquarters in Paris, France. So remember, where is the headquarters of UNESCO? It is in Paris. So the United Nations Charter that came into effect on the 16th of November 1945 created a specialized agency in the fields of education and culture to be named as the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. And the initiative of UNESCO's are focused on the 5 program areas. One is education, second is natural science, next is social and human science, fourth one is communication, and fifth one is information. So these are the 5 you can say program areas on which UNESCO works. And UNESCO recently introduced, or you can say recently announced, one Indian city as the UNESCO Creative Cities Network, which is known as UCCN. This is very important for India. UCCN created in 2004 aims to promote cooperation with the among cities and have identified creativity as a strategic factor for sustainable urban development. And recently Srinagar, remember, Srinagar was added under the network of UNESCO Creative Cities Network, UCCN. And there are 6 Indian cities on the UCCN. One is Srinagar, which was recently added. Mumbai is there. Hyderabad is there. Chennai, Jaipur, and Varanasi. So these are the 6 cities which are currently under the UNESCO's Creative Cities Network. So very important. And remember about UNESCO, very important organization here. UNESCO's headquarters is in Paris, France, and total member countries are 193. Total associate members are 11, and Director General is Audrey Azoulay. So just remember the name. Which company has signed export contract with USD worth USD 21 million with Airbus Defence and Space? This is a Spain-based company. You have to remember, this is Spain-based company, and it is for CMDS. What is the meaning of CMDS? It is Counter Measures Dispensing System. Just remember the question as same as in slide, and this company is Bharat Dynamics Limited. So answer of this question is D, BDL. So Bharat Dynamics Limited inks export contract with USD 20 million with Airbus Defence and Space, which is a Spain-based organization, for countermeasures dispensing system. And this contract value is almost or estimated at 21 million USD. So just remember the question as same as in slide, otherwise it is not important. But you have to just remember about this organization BDL. Its chairman and managing director is Siddharth Mishra, and headquarters is in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is in Telangana. Next question is India's first laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory, which is known as LIGO project will be set up in which state? So you have to remember the keyword here, laser interferometer gravitational wave observatory LIGO project will be set up in the state of Maharashtra. Answer of this question is B. Recently, Maharashtra's Hingoli Revenue Department allotted 225 hectares of land for setting up of India's first LIGO project, which is known as Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. And you can see here, it is India's first gravitational wave research facility, which will be come up in Maharashtra's Hingoli. Exact place you have to remember. Total land size is 225 hectare, which will be provided by Hingoli Revenue Department. And the main aim to study gravitational waves arriving to Earth from catalysmic events in the distant universe and carrying out experiments on them. So it is just for the study of gravitational waves. And LIGO India project is a part of 3 gravitational wave detectors of LIGO. 2 are basically currently operation. One in the United States of America, exact place is Hanford in Washington, and second one is Livingstone in Louisiana. But LIGO India project will be built by Department of Atomic Energy under the Department of Science and Technology under the Government of India with a memorandum of understanding with the National Science Foundation. And National Science Foundation is a United States of America based organization. So remember, 2 other LIGO observatories, one is United States of America, second in the Washington in USA, and second is Louisiana in USA. So other 2 are in USA, and third one is basically in the India, and it will be established in Maharashtra. And there are so many space observatories in India, like 4 you have to remember, locations you have to remember. One is Mount Abu Infrared Observatory. Infrared Observatory. This is situated in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. Very important. And second is Devsthal. This is very important again. Devsthal Optical Telescope. This is situated in Nainital. Nainital, Uttarakhand. Devsthal. And second is Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope, and this is situated in Maharashtra. Next is Stargate Observatory. This is situated in Bhimtal again in Uttarakhand. So there are 2 observatories in Uttarakhand. One is Devsthal, second is Stargate, and one is situated in Maharashtra, which is Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope. This is in Maharashtra, and the Mount Abu Infrared Observatory is in Rajasthan. So you can also remember these space observatories in India. So very important. And this is by the Department of Atomic Energy under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. So this is Maharashtra. And remember, Chief Minister of Maharashtra is Uddhav Thackeray, and Governor is Bhagat Singh Kishori ji. And very important tiger reserve is Melghat Tiger Reserve. Shayadri Tiger Reserve is also there. Todoba National Park is also there. Very important national park is there. Next is India gets reselected to the UNESCO Executive Board for the time period of 4 years, like for 2021 to 25. So it is just a time period of 4 years, and UNESCO Executive Body is one of the 3 constitutional organs. You can say other 2 are like General Conference, and second one is Secretariat. And India is currently present in the UNESCO's Executive Board and the General Conference. And Executive Board consists of 58 members, each with a 4-year term, like India, 21 to 25. And acting under the authority of the General Conference, this board examines the program of work for the organization and corresponding budget estimates submitted to the Director General. So we already discussed about UNESCO. So now we are moving to the next question. Total member countries are 193, and it was established in 1945. Headquarters is in Paris, and Director General is Audrey Azoulay. Again, we discussed. Now we are moving to the important question section, but first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Which bank launched a microcredit facility for the street vendors? Very important, and even you can cover this question in the very important section, especially for the banking students, but answer of this question is HDFC. So the main important thing here is it is for street vendors. So for street vendors, government also started one scheme which is known as PM Swanidhi. So what is the meaning of PM Swanidhi? It is Prime Minister Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi or Self-Reliant Nidhi or program. And under Prime Minister Swanidhi, it provides a collateral-free affordable loan of rupees 10,000 along with an interest subsidy of 7%. It means 7% interest subsidy will be provided, and rupees 10,000 will be provided as a loan to the street vendors. And the facility provide a special microcredit facility to all the street vendors through common service center for the village level entrepreneurs for their holistic development and economic upliftment, especially during the COVID-19, because it was started on the 1st of June 2020 when COVID-19 was on peak. And it is to provide affordable working capital loans like 10,000 to street vendors to continue their livelihood that have been affected due to lockdown or due to COVID-19. So now it will be provided by HDFC. So just remember, it is very simple question. And HDFC was started in 1994. Its headquarters is in Mumbai, and its tagline is "We understand your world. We understand your world." And its CEO or MD is Shashidhar Jagdishan. So move into next question, and it is again not so much important. Just remember M-Swipe, which is a point of sale machine provider company, and One Card, which is digital credit card maker company or digital credit card provider company, partner to offer EMIs at point of sale machine. Very simple question now. So M-Swipe announced the partnership agreement with One Card, a mobile first credit card company, and it will provide no cost or low cost EMI to its retail consumers while purchasing at M-Swipe point of sale machine. So M-Swipe is empowering One Card to increase sales by providing attractive offers to their customers. So remember, M-Swipe is a point of sale machine provider company, and One Card is a credit card provider company, online credit card provider company. Now we are moving to one-liner important points. Justice M. Doraiswamy, appointed as the acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court. The senior most judge of Madras High Court currently is M. Doraiswamy, who is appointed as the acting Chief Justice of Madras High Court. And earlier, the Madras High Court Chief Justice was Sanjeev Banerjee. Sanjeev Banerjee. And now Sanjeev Banerjee is appointed as the Chief Justice of Meghalaya High Court. Meghalaya High Court. Next is petroleum, and you can also remember an article here. Article 217 of the Indian Constitution provided that there should be a Chief Justice of High Court, which will be appointed by President, with the consultation of the Chief Justice, of India and Governor of the state. Just remember, this is Article 217. Next, Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri ji visited United Arab Emirates to attend the ADIPEC. It is Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference. So this is an event hosted by Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to provide Indian companies a world-class environment for showcasing their success stories across India or across the industrial value chain. Next is NSDL e-governance received RB approval to operate as the AA. What is the meaning of AA? It is account aggregator. Account aggregator. So account aggregators are the data assess fiduciary. It will be used for the exchange of financial information from financial information provided to the financial information users in a safe manner. So but it will be provided with due customer consent. Just remember this line, otherwise not important. Next, government extend the tenure of enforcement director is S.K. Mishra by 1 year. And I think all the students know that recently Government of India increased the time period of directors of the ED and CBI maximum up to 5 years. But now S.K. Mishra time period is extended by 1 year. Earlier, he have to retire on the date of 18th of November 2021, but now he will retire on 18th of November 2022. So remember, S.K. Mishra is currently the Director of Enforcement Directorate. Next, scientists discover exoplanet named as TOI 1789b, bigger than Jupiter. So the exoplanet search and the study group at the Ahmedabad, Gujarat Physical Research Laboratory discovered a new exoplanet orbiting too close to an evolved or the aging star with a mass of 1.5 times that of the Sun and located 725 light years away. And the planet is known as TOI 1789b, or it is also known as HD 82139b. So you can just remember or just read this name 1789 or 82139. This can be the number of this exoplanet. Next, National Naturopathy Day 2021 observed on 18th of November 2021. It is to create awareness about the naturopathy and to promote drugless system of medicine to prevent disease by altering the diet and lifestyle. And this day is basically observed by the Ministry of Ayush. This is Ayurveda, Yoga and Neuropathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. This is the Ministry of Ayush. Next, last day is World Philosophy Day. It is observed on 18th of November 2021, but every year it is not observed on 18th of November. It is observed on third Thursday of November to promote the international culture of a healthy philosophical debate that respects people's dignity and diversity. So the main objective is to boost people commitment to the philosophy, raise awareness about the importance of philosophical analysis, research and the study of the major contemporary issues. So just remember, World Philosophy Day, 18th of November. So now we are moving to the 18th of November 2021 question. Question was very simple. Which of the following is the nodal agency to provide licenses to e-commerce companies, including the foreign companies? So answer of this question is DIPP, or you can say its new name is DPIIT, because earlier it was renamed as Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, but in 2019 it was renamed as Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade after internal trade was added to its mandate. And this Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade is a department of government, is a department under the center government, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Commerce and Industry, it means I am talking about Piyush Goyal ji, and it is responsible for formulation and implementation of the promotional and the developmental measures for growth of industrial sector, keeping in view the national priorities and the social economical objectives. So just remember, it is DIPP, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, or now it is known as Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is the International Development Association, IDA, is an arm of. So you have to just remember this organization is a part of which organization. I am waiting your answer. Very simple question, and you have to answer me only in the comment box. So please like this video. Please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section, definitely. But don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.